Good morning. So we are in chapter 11, Perek Yud Aleph in Sefer Shmuel Aleph. And what we saw last time was that Shaul was crowned as a king of Am Israel, but there were people that were doubting him. They didn't accept him, they laughed at him, they mocked him. As it says, let's see the verse, it says, but some scoundrels said, how can this fellow save us? So they scorned him and brought him to no gift. So they didn't treat him as a king, and he didn't react. It says, but he pretended not to mind. Pretended not to mind. He did mind, but he pretended not to mind. And this is how we finished the last chapter. Now the question is, you are now the king. What are you going to do? Or maybe you are not a king. So apparently nothing really happened in this moment. Shmuel declared Shaul as a king, but he himself just returned home, maybe because not all the people accepted him, maybe for other reasons. He didn't start really to be a king in that moment. And then there was a crisis. Apparently this crisis started before. There are some hints to that they had problem with one of the neighbors, Nachash Ammoni, is that made problems to Am Yisrael. Let's start reading. So Nachash the Ammonita. So Nachash is the name of the king. Ammon is the name of the nation. Nachash, the king of Ammon, marched up and besieged Yavesh Gilad. All the people of Yavesh said to Nachash, make a pact with us and we will serve you. So a pact here, it's not like a pact with two equal parents. Not parties, right? It's more like a dominant country and the servants of this country. So it's not really a pact. Now, the people of Yavesh Gilad, do you remember this name, Yavesh Gilad, where we learned about Yavesh Gilad? In the story of Pilegesh Bagiv'ah, concubine in the hill in Giv'ah, and it's important, it looks like it's very related to this story, and there are several things that are similar, but there are also in the content, there is relationship with this story. Anyway, we will see that a little bit later. Now, when he's saying that he besieged Yavesh Gilad, I mean, he started a war against Yavesh Gilad, and they ask him for peace, meaning we are surrounding. You can do, I mean, we don't want to fight against you. You can rule us, but just don't hurt us. What was the answer of this wicked king? So, but Nachash the Ammoni answered them, I will make a pact with you on this condition, that every man's right eye be gouged out. I will make this a humiliation for all Israel. So it's not only that you have to surround there, I'm going to humiliate you, right? And what is the idea of taking out the eye? There can be two ideas. First of all, it's humiliation, right? Everybody knows, everybody see every Jew without the right eye. So everybody knows that the Jews are weak. I mean, these people of Yavesh Gilad are weak. They had to sacrifice their eyes in order to survive. So it's a sign of humiliation, like he said, humiliation for all Israel. The other reason that it can be also for military purposes, meaning when you don't have the right eye, it's much harder to have a fight. You cannot shoot arrows. It's very hard to fight with one eye when you don't see who's coming from you from this side. So it can be, okay, you are my servant, you're not going to fight against me, I'm going to make sure you won't be able to fight anymore in the future. And also humiliation for all Am Israel, to show I'm the king, you are my servants, you are my slaves. I would also mention it's related to apparently Shevet Binyamin. Apparently, we talk again about this relation with the story later, but we saw in other places in the Tanakh that Shevet Binyamin were snipers. They were very good in throwing stones or arrows and be very accurate. So again, taking the eye, you cannot be accurate. You need the two eyes in order to be able to shoot far.
Yavesh Gilad בעצם יהודים שגרו במקום שנקרא
כן,
גזל.
כן, yeah. And I wanted also to show you where it is. Maybe it will be important later. Do we have the pens, Philip?
Well, I'm over here.
No, the pens was a. Oh, I know. Use that. Okay, so this is a bit. Okay, anyway, try to imagine the map of Israel, right? So we have the Mediterranean in the west and the Jordan in the east. Now, most of Eretz Israel is the western side of Jordan, but there are two tribes that are in the eastern side, which are Reuven in the south, Gad, Menashe in the middle, and Gad in the north. No, the opposite. No, so it was Reuven, Gad, Menashe. Anyway, Yavesh Gilad is in this side of the Jordan, a little bit south to the Kinneret. So you know there's the Kinneret. Okay, yeah. So if this is the eastern side, this is the Kinneret, Yam HaMelach, the Dead Sea.
Where my home, near Kinneret.
So here more or less is Bet Shean. Yavesh Gilad is here, in front of Bet Shean in the east. Here a little bit, there is called named Bezek. Maybe a little bit more to this side. But this is Bezek. We are going to see this place later. And here's Yavesh Gilad. Okay, more or less in front of Tirat Tzvi, Bet Shean over there.
In our home also.
Yeah, it's quite close. So it's the other side of the Jordan. So most of Am Yisrael is in this side. They are a little bit disconnected, far away, and he's attacking them because Ammon is here. Ammon actually is here. So it's close to him, and this is a place that is going. Okay, so what would be the reaction of these people? He tells them, I will do a pact with you if I take out your right eye, which can be very, very uncomfortable and makes them feel unsafe. So the elders of Yahweh say to him, give us 7 days respite so that we may send messengers throughout the territory of Israel. If no one comes to our aid, we will surrender to you. What do you think about this offer? Why would he accept that? Wait 7 days so we will decide if we want to have a war with you. And he is already camping upon them, right? He's near the city. Why would he accept that? He accepted that. Why? So there are some explanations in the Mefarshim. The one explanation, he was so sure of himself, he didn't care. And second, it's even more humiliation, right? It's you try to find help, nobody will help you. Even if they come, I will win them, I will defeat them. So it's even more humiliation. So he gave them the chance. And also there are some explain that they told him, it's not really humiliation if we didn't ask for help. It will be only humiliation if we are going to ask and help and nobody will help us or will help us and not succeed. So this is the real humiliation. But what we can understand from that he was quite sure or that is going to defeat Am Yisrael, even if it's going to come help, or even make more sense, he was quite sure that Am Yisrael won't help each other. Why? Because that was until now, that was what's happening. We saw in the book of the judge, everybody for himself. When Dvorah had the war, some of the tribes came, the other tribe didn't come. When Iftach had the war, he had problem with the sons of Ephraim. Also Gidon, the people of Ephraim didn't come. So Am Yisrael was divided during many, many generations. And he was quite sure that they were not going to help him. Now, I want to remind you the connection with the story of Pilegesh Bagiva. So remember the story of Pilegesh Bagiva, there was this woman that they raped and killed, and there was a war between Am Yisrael, the 10 tribes, and Shevet Binyamin. Now, Am Yisrael, before the war said, made a vow, commitment, nobody is going to marry with the tribe of Binyamin. Right? And in the war, many people died, and almost disappeared. The tribe of Binyamin disappeared. There weren't women to get married with. And one of the solutions, there were two solutions. One solution was to kidnap women from Shiloh that were dancing in Shiloh. The other solution was, they said, okay, who didn't come to the war? We said everybody must come to the war against Binyamin. And there were one city that didn't send anyone to help in the war. Who was that city? Yavesh Gilad. So Am Yisrael said, since they didn't help us in the war against Binyamin, the punishment will be death to all men. and they will take the women for the tribe of Benjamin. And that's what happened. So, according to that, if all the men died and some of the women got married with the tribe of Benjamin, who lived there? The families from the time of Benjamin. They moved to the place, to the houses, to the empty houses of the dead people. So, according to that, even though Yavesh Gilad was in the tribe of Menashe, in the territory of Menashe, the people there were from Benjamin. Now, Malvin, for example, connect that. The new king, what tribe is he? Also Benjamin. Shaul is from Benjamin. So he is attacking directly, they're attacking directly the tribe of the king, of the new king, to show them you cannot trust this king. So this is one explanation why these people of Yavesh Gilad. And the other explanation maybe, so we can say that not everybody died in the city survived, and there were other families from the city, not from Benjamin, from Menashe, but still, these are the people that everybody hates. Right? The people that didn't come, didn't join, they felt that they live in far away in the east, they don't care about the rest of Am Israel. They didn't ask in the beginning help from Am Israel. Only after he said, okay, I will do a pact with you if you're taking out your right eye, only then they said, maybe we should ask help from our brothers. So we understand that they didn't have a very good relationship with the rest of Am Israel. So it was an attack or on the people of the king, of the new king, or on the people that nobody care about or nobody likes. The king of Ammon accepted what they asked to. When the messengers came to Gibeah of Shaul, so they asked to go all the territory of Israel, right? It says throughout the territory of Israel. Maybe they did. It doesn't clear if they sent for everybody, maybe not, but maybe if they went directly to the king, to the place of the king, which is called Givat Shaul, or maybe they sent several messengers, and some of them arrived to Givat Shaul. But now we are continuing the story with what's happened with Shaul. When the messengers came to Gibeah of Shaul and gave this report in the hearing of the people, all the people broke into weeping, which wasn't the right reaction. When you are hearing something like that, you don't want to weep, to cry, you want to go to a war. But Am Israel was weak. Again, they didn't believe in themselves. They didn't believe that they're able to have a fight against Ammon, against Nahash. They start weeping. There's no leadership. There's no one that is going to take them. How weak we are against the Goyim are going to torture the Jews. So this was the first reaction. And then the new king came. Shaul was just coming from the field driving the cattle. So that was the new king was doing. Instead of sitting in the palace, I don't know, and having some drinks, he was going out to work in the fields. What are you doing after in Hebrew it says, Acharei Bakar, not driving the cattle, after the cattle. What does it mean after the cattle? What?
Herding them or
What do you use cattle for in the fields?
Graze.
To, how do you say, lachrosh?
Grazing, people.
Grazing
It's grass.
no, not grazing the grass. It's to prepare to planting. I forgot. Yeah, I will find the word. Just a second. To plow, that's a word. Plow, yeah, to plow. So they use cattle to plow, right? So he was the one who was plowing. So he didn't behave like a king. So Rashi say because he was modest. I'm a regular person. I'm just going to work in the morning, going to my office in the field. So this is one explanation. Other explanation is that Mikra say he was very rich. He has a lot of property, and he just went to see what's going on with his property. He wasn't plowing. He just after the cattle returned from plowing, he was coming after them. But he didn't. It's mentioned here because we're going to see later. But he didn't was the one who was plowing. Yeah, so these are the two ways. But anyway, what we can see from here, he only heard that after because he was outside in the fields. He wasn't the one. He didn't stay in the palace, in this town, in the city, and did the things that king do, right? And then, what was the reaction of Shaul? Unlike the reaction of the people of Gibeah, Shaul is getting mad. When he heard these things, the Spirit of God gripped Shaul, and his anger blazed up. So this is a combination that it's rare. He was the Spirit of God and he was angry. So what does it mean, Spirit of God? I think I told you when we learned about Shimshon that according to Rambam, there are different levels of Ruach HaKodesh, of divine inspiration, of prophecy. And the lowest one, it's not that Hashem is talking to you, but suddenly you are very courageous or you are very strong. You get like unregular power. It can be spiritual, mental, or physical power. And this is come from the inspiration of God. This is Ruach Elohim, Spirit of God that was upon Shaul, that his reaction is totally the opposite of the one that the people that heard that first heard the news reacted. So and this is maybe the best moment of Shaul. After that, we're going to be the deterioration. But right now, he is reacting as a king. So what he's doing, he took a yoke of oxen and cut them into pieces. Poor oxen, why did he do that? Let's see. Which is sent by messengers throughout the territory of Israel with a warning. Those shall be done to the cattle of anyone who does not follow Shaul and Shmuel into battle. So he's gathering Am Israel, but in the strong way, right? I'm the king, now everybody's going to come. If not, you're not going to come. Not like the former chapter when someone talked against him, he pretended to be silent. He didn't do a Vayike Macharish. He didn't do anything. Here, there is a national matter. We have to react, and I'm going to act like a king, and everybody's going to come. Now, also we can say that this action is for him. Okay, I cannot anymore go to the fields and work in the field. I must now take the control. I must now start behaving like a king. So it was good until now, but when Am Yisrael needs me, I have to leave everything else. I have to leave my cattle, leave my fields, leave my properties, and start working for Am Yisrael. So it's when you're cutting this same, it says here oxen, but it's the same word that we used before, cattle in Hebrew. You see, it's bakar. Acharei bakar, and here it says tzemed bakar. So he took from this same cattle and said, כן, הסברתי את זה. And this same cattle that before he used to walk in the field, now he's sending them, he's cutting them. I'm not doing that anymore. It's also some symbolic idea here that also was explained, Malbim explained that. It says, it shows them when we are together, when the cattle is together, one piece, it can live. But if it's cut to pieces, every time for itself, it's going to die, right? You see this cattle that I cut, it used to be live, now it's died because I cut it to pieces. So when we are cut to pieces, Am Yisrael is cut to pieces, every town, every tribe for itself, we are not going to survive. So this is also maybe the symbolic idea of cutting the cattle. And the reaction was, it's interesting, here's the wording. So he sent everybody and he threatened them. If you're not coming, I'm going to kill all your properties, all your cattle, right? What was the reaction? Terror from God. Why didn't it say terror from the king? It doesn't say the terror, the fear was from whom? Shaul, right? Shaul threatened them that he's going to kill everybody or the cattle of everybody. But they didn't fear of Shaul, they fear of God. So what we understand here is that Hashem is with Shaul. They understood, and maybe they felt, maybe the atmosphere has changed now, and they understood that this is the king, he was sent to us by God, and we must follow him. So terror from God fell upon the people, and they came out united. So Shaul mastered them in Bezek, like I told you in front. It's about maybe 20 kilometers from each other. He didn't go directly to the place of the war. He was preparing in Bezek. I can tell you in parentheses, in Bezek was my military basement. It was in the training when I was in the beginning, that there is like what's called for the Tironim. Tironim, it's like the beginning. It is in Bezek, exactly the same place. So he gathered the people in Bezek. Bezek, the Israelite numbered 300,000, and Yehuda contingent, 300,000 Am Israel. So we can calculate very fast, more or less, 30,000 for each tribe. Why does he count Yehuda separately? from the rest of the people. It's the first time that we are seeing that. We are going to see that during all the next books. Always Yehuda is separate. There was some kind of separation already between Yehuda and the rest of the tribes. This separation was finally determined when the two kingdoms of Yehuda and Israel were divided in the times of the son of Shlomo, Rehavam. In the time of Rehavam, the kingdom was divided for two, Yehuda and Binyamin, and all the other tribes in the other kingdom. So apparently from the beginning, there was a separation between Yehuda and the rest of Am Israel. And we can see that here also. This is the first time. The messenger who had come were told, those should you speak to Yavesh Gilead's side. Tomorrow, when the sun grows hot, you should be saved. When the messenger came and told this to the representatives of Yavesh, they rejoiced. So remember that we said that we have 7 days. They asked for 7 days. So that was very, very fast. So the messengers arrived in the same day. They sent messengers to all of Israel with a cattle cut and all that stuff. And everybody, 330,000 people came in, I don't know, 1 or 2 days, organized to different units and to different places. So it's a huge, it was very, very fast, like a total revolution of what happened before until now. So the representatives of Yavesh then told, so it's not very clear in the Hebrew verse who they told. So they write here in English, they told the Ammonites, which is apparently the right explanation. So what they say is, tomorrow we will surrender to you. Again, the Hebrew words, it's not surrender, is netzeh, we'll go out to you. And you can do to us whatever you please. So that's the reason it makes sense that it's for the Ammonim. So it was a trick here. They were cheating them. They said, you know what? Okay, we accept the terms. Am Yisrael didn't come to help us. Apparently, for some reason, Ammon couldn't see that all Am Yisrael arrived to Bezek. So they said, yeah, we are surrounding, you can take our right eye, whatever, we didn't succeed. So that was, so the Ammonim would be calm. They don't be afraid. And then in the early morning, the next day, Shaul divided the troops into 3 columns. This was also very common tactic. We saw that also with Gideon. Gideon also divided the people to 3 places. Later with Shaul and Jonathan, also 3. So it's I mean, also today we're doing stuff like that. It's dividing, not coming everybody from the same direction. So Shaul divided the troops into 3 columns. At the morning watch, it's very, very early in the morning, in the dawn, more or less, time of the dawn. It was Ashmoret HaBoker. It doesn't say what does it mean, watch, I don't know, but Ashmoret HaBoker, it's again very, very early in the morning when everybody's still sleeping. They entered the camp and struck down the Ammonites until the day grew up. So it was massacre of few hours from the early morning to the middle of the day. So the survivors scattered. No 2 were left. Again, the translation here. No 2 were left together. So they were totally shocked. They were surprised, and everybody ran away. Yeah.
I'm thinking of the strategic element here, the tactical element, actually,
Yeah.
that Shaul was using by breaking up his men into 3 units. He had 1 coming straight at him and 2 coming in from the side.
So they cannot run away.
Yeah, and then
leave in the
sneaking
one
back
place.
to get out.
Yeah, that's always they are doing that, right? So you want the enemy to run away, not necessarily to fight against you.
Unless you want
So
to,
I meant you want to
kill him.
Yeah, I meant you want to kill everybody. You prefer some of them to go away, some of them to stay. So you came from 3 directions and leave in 1 direction to run away. So yeah, they caught them by surprise. They killed everybody, and that was the first great success of the king. Now, the success, I can see that are 3. There are 3 successes. First, the win for itself. Second, the ability to unite everybody, that all Am Yisrael come together. The only time we saw that all Am Yisrael came together was in the story of Pilegesh Bagiva. And maybe in the time of Shmuel. Shmuel also was able to unite Am Yisrael against the Plishtim once. But this is the first time we see that actually all Am Yisrael came together and that was under the leadership of Shaul. And I think that the third success, the third thing that was amazing that he could done was to do that so fast. So fast, in 7 days, unite 330,000 soldiers in one place going out to a war. Very, very impressive. So now, after this big success, now people want to see, okay, who wasn't with Shaul the former chapter? Let's take revenge. Okay, let's punish them. So the people then say to Shmuel, who was it says, shall Shaul be king over us and over those involved, and we will put them to death because they are rebels, right, against the king. They are, so let's kill these people. And Shaul replied, nobody shall be put to death this day. For this day, God has brought victory to Israel. What do you think about this action of Shaul? It's a, how do you say, mercy of victorious? When you are success, you want, let's start a new page. Let's start from the beginning, start over. Also show his mercy and his love to Am Israel, but maybe also first sign of weakness. And we will see that again later, that was the greatest problem of Shaul. He wasn't strong enough. In this case, he was strong in the beginning, he collected everybody, but maybe at least some symbolic punishment would be not killing them maybe, but some other kind of punishment, to put limits, to put lines. I am the king, you should accept that, all right? You should go after me. I'm not going after you, you will go after me, okay? And so he didn't do anything, he just say, everybody now, today we are just forgiving everybody, and we continue everybody together. So Shmuel said to the people, come, let us go to Gilgal, and there inaugurate the monarchy. So this was the third time that Shaul was crowned. The first time was private, the second time was in public, but not everybody accepted, and this is the third time when everybody accepted that. So all the people went to Gilgal, and there at Gilgal they declared Shaul king before God. They offered sacrifice of well-being there before God, and Shaul and everyone connected with Israel held a great celebration there. Okay, so this is the chapter. We saw most of the important things, and I just want to say, in Sefer Dat Mikra, it's one of the books that explain all the Tanakh, but specifically Sefer Shmuel, he said that we can divide the kingdom of Shaul to 3 times. We have the good time, the first time, and then we have time that it was good and bad together, and then the last part was a bad time. And you can see in the Bible that the first time is a lot of day and light and sun and good stuff. And after that, a lot of darkness. We will see that in the things happening in the night, and is going in the night. So this is for sure the best part, right? The best part of the kingdom of Shaul was this victory against the Ammonim. And again, not only the military victory, also the ability to unite Am Yisrael. The first time Am Yisrael is under a king and all Am Yisrael together. So this is the result, is this success in the war. Okay, shkoyach.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thanks, Rabbi. And thanks, Joe and Phil, for the delicious breakfast.
That's all.